e-prescribing troubleshooting presentation by Sharon Blodget. In this scenario, the providers are receiving periodic error messages on the e-prescribing system where the prescribing doctor is not able to send the prescriptions electronically. Instead, the physician is forced to call in the prescription, which takes longer. The system is new and had been working well until recently when those periodic error messages started to appear. There is no known software support. The only contact from the e-prescription company is a sales associate who's not answering her phone. The office manager, Brendan, therefore, is the only person who is responsible for maintaining the system and troubleshooting any problems that arise with the software. That means that Brendan alone is responsible for fixing the problem before too much time is wasted by the providers and they get frustrated. In order to fix the problem, Brendan needs to go through the 4 steps of the troubleshooting process. Step 1 is identification of the problem. Step 2 is generation of a list of possible solutions. Step 3 is determination of the root causes. And step 4 is confirmation that the solution is the right one. Step 1, identification. The first step in the troubleshooting process, as stated previously, is the identification of the malfunctions and symptoms of the problems on the e-prescription system. The doctors are reporting that the e-prescription service is no longer working well and instead working inconsistently. The providers are reporting that they receive error messages and that they are unable to send the prescriptions. In this scenario, Brenda does not have any further details from the users. This is not an unexpected finding, as providers are more focused on completing the task and not necessarily concerned with remembering error messages and the details that surround these incidents. Therefore, Brenda needs to focus on the error log that was generated and found in the system. The error log, unlike the staff, keeps a record of the major errors, and examination of the error log can help specialists easily identify the cause of the problem and those possible solutions. Step 2 of the troubleshooting process is the generation of a list of possible causes. The only clues Brendan has right now are the error logs. If Brendan worked in IT, he'd probably easily able to understand the error logs, but instead, he needs to use clues to decipher the error logs and generate the list of possible causes. To understand these error logs and generate the list, Brendan needs to research the typical problems encountered with an e-prescribing system. One of the typical problems encountered with an e-prescribing system is related to patient demographics and can include inaccurate medication history, allergies, demographic information that's improperly formatted. The HL7 pharmacy encoded orders, or RDE message type, have 8 segments. Unfortunately, none of the segment abbreviations are included in the error logs. As you can see, they are listed in a table on the screen. So Brendan will have to look at another common problem. Another typical problem are related to the SCRIPT, or script, which is a national standard message type that was developed by the National Council for Prescription Drug Programs, or the NCPDP, so data can be sent between pharmacies. The script messages are made up of small segments, then fields, smaller components, and all can be identified based on the punctuation. The error log does in fact have a script error, and based on the description of the error log, it appears that there is an issue with the format of the PVD segment. The PVD segment is related to the pharmacy prescriber or facility segment of the message being sent. So in this case, it's likely that there's an error in formatting the message and didn't allow it to be sent properly because either the pharmacy prescriber or facility information cannot be translated properly. Another error that can possibly occur has to do with scheduled drugs. According to Champion-Revels, there may be laws restricting sending messages about controlled, otherwise known as scheduled drugs. There is a procedural error in the error log which says that Schedule 1 not allowed. Schedule 1 drugs are not usually prescribed, other than cannabis, since that category includes heroin, ecstasy, and bath salts. Therefore, a few possible causes of this error is that the Schedule 1 drug was inadvertently ordered, like a typo, an e-prescription for cannabis was attempted to be sent, which is prohibited by local or federal law, or there might be an issue with the drug that the provider attempted to order, and it may be accidentally miscategorized as a Schedule 1 drug when in fact it's a Schedule 2, Schedule 3, or even uncontrolled. The final possible error is another procedural error, which includes the phrase "not in formulary." The drug formulary is a list that is generated by an independent panel that examines information about drugs like clinical trial, FDA prescribing information, and compiles a list that's used to determine which drugs are covered by insurance and which are not. A drug that is, quote, "not in formulary" is one that is not covered by insurance. So just like with the scheduled classes of drugs, one needs to examine the possible causes. One is that the incorrect drug was ordered instead of an in-formulary option. The drug used to be in formulary, but the panel of experts have changed the list and it's no longer covered. Or finally, the correct drug was ordered and it should be in formulary, but the list is incorrect and the drug is miscategorized as a non-formulary. Step 3 is determination. In this step, additional data is collected, and based on a process of elimination, the root cause of the problem is determined. One part of determination could be to interview the doctors that are having trouble and have them provide more details, specifically related to the drug that they were trying to prescribe and to which location that they were trying to prescribe to. Brendan should also find out from all the physicians if others had tried to prescribe to these facilities or these drugs and received the same errors. The next part of step 3 would be to attempt to reproduce these errors. Since Brendan is not a physician and may not have system administrator access, he'll need to rely on the physicians to order the facility that may have been the problem, as well as the drugs that have been identified. The solution will be dependent on what Brendan finds. As noted previously, there is a chance that there is user error involved, like ordering the wrong medication or sending messages prescription about a controlled substance. In this case, this will be something that Brendan can work with the personnel in order to fix and will simply involve retraining. However, if there's something wrong with the Schedule 1 list or the formulary list or something wrong with the format of messages sent to a pharmacy, Brendan will need to pursue contacting the software vendor to see if something was changed, like an update or a patch, and will need to correct the software issues behind the scenes. Or, if there is a backup available, Brendan could attempt to restore the software to the point before the errors started appearing. These all would involve the error messages going away and therefore Brendan confirming that the error has been resolved. Moving forward. For Brendan, this should be an eye-opening experience where he realizes that something needs to be changed. There is currently minimal in-house support for the software, so either a current staff member, like Brendan, should be trained to fully understand how to troubleshoot the basic problems with the software, or the practice should hire a technical staff member with prior experience supporting this e-prescribing software. Another option is adding an outside support group, which could handle anything that's not handled by the in-house support, or Brendan in this case. Brendan needs to check with the sales associate to see if some sort of technical support was included with the purchase of the software. If not, Brendan should look at the price of contracting with the company and put that into the budget.